and I'll take the AFC. So let's go. Give me the full list and just a quick reason why they are where they are. NFC Power Rankings, power. Go.
Yeah, so I'm going to go 5-1. I don't think any of these will really be a surprise. They're easily the top 5 teams in the NFC. So at 5, I've got the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
I think they've had a slower start than they did last year. Rodgers obviously going for his MVP last year boosted him because he was just throwing the ball everywhere. So I've got them at 5. It pains me to put the Dallas Cowboys at number 4, but I do think they are legit. I do think they're a playoff team, and they could potentially, depending on who they get in the first round, they've got the ability on offense to put points up, so they could potentially have a little run in the playoffs. At 3, I've got the Rams. So they are slightly edged out by the other 2 teams because I think the other 2 have got more to offer. But the Rams, they look good. They're looking good under Matt Stafford. They got busted by the Cardinals, didn't they? But I don't know who. Well, everybody's been busted by the Cardinals at the minute. At 2, I've got the Bucks. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which may be a surprise to some people. But they're not undefeated, and the team, I feel, with the most power going into week 6 is the Cardinals. And I think they're rightfully number 1. They've handled everybody apart from the Niners pretty much. They've handled all comers. They put points up, and the defense doesn't look too bad either.
They did what they had to do against the Niners, didn't they? Like the Niners they're always a bit of a stifling defense. They're always going to throw you off your normal game plan, but to get another win is good. So Cardinals top, undefeated.
Yeah. NFC West going strong.
Yeah, there's a few in there, isn't there? But no Seahawks.
No.
It's all right. I don't blame you for that one. Okay, so my AFC power ranking, if we're starting from 5, at number 5, I'm going to put in my AFC, 5th goes to the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
So I'm going to slide him in at 5. As I said, I'm not blown away by everything that they do. I think their defense is questionable as well, as much as, they've played some relatively easy games and they've also played some hard ones. So I think they've had a good balance of finding out who they are. They've won the majority, like you said, they've only lost 1. And yeah, I think that they go in at 5. They've definitely got a chance to take the playoffs by storm, but it all depends on that man, Lamar, and how he can actually handle that team moving forward. So Ravens at 5. I then slide in at 4, the LA Chargers.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe lower than what most people would put them, but I'm putting him in at 4. They're obviously a great team, and Herbert is on fire at the moment. I just want to see that remain consistent throughout the rest of the year. He's only a second-year quarterback, and there is no restrictions on a second-year quarterback. It doesn't mean that they can't go to the Super Bowl. It doesn't mean that they can't win playoff games. But I just want to see when the heat really turns up down at the far end of the season where I think they'll be. But right now, I'd put them in at number 4. I think they still have some questions for me, but their performance has been good to this point, so we'll see. And then at 3, I'm going to throw in the Kansas City Chiefs. So I throw the Chiefs in at 3, and I'd still say that as much as they're not playing to their potential, I still think that they personally, this is my power rankings, I think they've got more power than the Chargers, and I think they've got more power than the Ravens and anybody else.
So the two teams that have beat them, they have more power than.
Yeah, no, I know they've lost. I know they've lost. But I feel like they're
very controversial.
Yeah, I feel like it'll come good. I think it'll come good. I think that they're working some problems out, and I mean, I'm very, very open to be eating my words in another few weeks, but I think the Chiefs will come good, and they won't be able to be held down for long if the defense can start to do something, and it should, because they've not lost pieces. Spagnuolo just needs to get something, something rolling. If they can start to stop those points, everything changes for the Chiefs at that point. So we'll see if it happens. And yes, the teams that have beat them have gone underneath them, but I got faith in the Chiefs.
Very
Above
controversial.
above the Chiefs, I am going to put the Cleveland Browns. I think that they have got a really good balance, and although they lost to the Chiefs, which arguably say they would go underneath them, I think that right now the Browns are finding a bit of a rhythm. It's a shame that they don't have Landry, because if they do, I think they're even better. They potentially win that game against the Chargers because they can push that ball downfield a little bit. But with the players that they've got right now, they should just be pounding the rock and really just muscling teams out. And their defense is a savage. They need to get their secondary to work more as a unit, because the pass rush is all there and more. Which leaves at number 1 the Vegas Raiders. Kidding, soz Raiders.
I've seen your power rankings. I would not have been surprised. I was like, okay, he's gone a different way with this. I didn't expect him to go this direction. I know he loves Mahomes.
No, I'm going with obviously the Buffalo Bills at 1 in the AFC. They handled the Chiefs, and they've pretty much handled every team that they've played so far, apart from the blip that was the Steelers in week 1, and you can put that down to just offensive rhythm and timings maybe not quite gelling, and the fact that the Steelers defense is pretty good. So I'm going to put the Bills up there. Josh Allen just looks like he could be the MVP this year. He's definitely going to be in the conversation, and their receivers, Emmanuel Sanders, Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, Dawson Knox is doing bits, and I'd imagine a lot of people haven't even heard about him since before this year, but Dawson Knox, their tight end, is doing bits. Their running backs don't have to do anything. Singletary and I don't know who the other bloke is, but what's his name?
Moss.
Oh, Zach Moss. Yeah. So exactly, that's the point. They don't have to do a lot, but they, each of them have a touchdown in almost every game, or one of them does. So yeah, the Bills' offense just seems to be rolling, and their defense plays lights out every snap. So Bills hit the top of the power rank in the AFC.
I'm not even sure, just even looking at that, I'd even have the Chiefs in it.
Stop it.
They don't deserve it.
No, their record doesn't suggest, but I'm by no means taking it away from them right now. I'm putting the Chiefs in at number 3.
Well, listeners, let us know how you feel about that.
Give me some shit.
It could be titled Dave's shocked that the Chiefs make it into the top 5. But hey ho.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that is